So I'm not going to talk much at all here because I know Annie and Cassie both have lots to say and share with you guys. I'm actually like secretly excited that we kind of hooked you two up because Jen and I were kind of doing some matchmaking, just like what personalities would like go really well together. And we're like, oh, I think Cass and Annie would do really well. So I'm excited about that. And these ladies are so inspiring. And Annie has gone full time as a coach, which inspires the heck out of me. If you need to follow someone on Instagram to like figure your ish out, you need to follow her because she knows what's up and she connects with her audience and she's so real. And Cass, an expectant mama, new wifey, and just killing it, like doing so good, so consistent. And I know Jen was saying she's so proud of you, and you've been doing amazing, and your bump is the cutest thing in the world. So I'm going to let you guys take off with this. I'll mute myself, and I'm really excited to hear what you guys have to say.
Hello, everybody. Okay, can you guys hear me okay before I begin? Okay, this room is kind of echoey, and Stella's just going to be moving around back there, so just ignore her. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of dive right in because I have a lot of info to share with you, and I know Cass does too. So I'm going to talk about how I overcame my struggles when I was first beginning as a new coach and kind of overcame that with being consistent in what I do now as a coach. My story, a lot of you guys know it if you follow me on Instagram or have had previous team call with me on our downline and stuff like that. But I joined about a year ago. And when I first joined, I was posting just like every new coach, just kind of like 1 or 2 times a day, if that. And they were super irrelevant to Beachbody. And I know that sounds stupid, but they were so irrelevant. No one knew what I was doing. They were like, okay, she got a workout in. Congratulations. Why are you posting this? Like, they were so pointless and irrelevant. And I thought I was like going to be a diamond in like a week because I was like, oh my God, I'm posting my sweaty selfie. Like, yes, I'm going to have so many challengers coming to me. This is amazing. And oh my God, I was so wrong, like obviously, but no one knew what I was doing. And that was my first big mistake because I wasn't sharing what I was learning from my personal development. That is obviously a vital behavior for all of us. And I was consistently doing all of my personal development and learning everything from that, but I wasn't applying it to what I do and applying it to my business as a coach. So now Stella's super needy because she knows I'm talking. I took days off without posting on social media. And obviously that was a huge mistake because I would go a week without posting anything and people were just like, okay, goodbye. She's gone. She's done with this new thing of hers. And they would move on to the next coach. And I never thought of it like that. Trying, and I was like, this is not for me. Like, I made a mistake. Like, I don't know what I was thinking. This is just not what I want to do. I know that I'm messed up. And he was like, okay, all you do is talk about all this knowledge that you take away from your personal development. And you write all of these plans down. And you're so organized about everything. I don't get how you feel this way. Like, how aren't you being successful? And I kind of just like sat there because I didn't know how to answer that because I was doing all of that. I was doing all my personal development. I was planning out everything to a T, and I knew where I wanted to be in a year from now, but I didn't know how to get there. And so when he kind of talked to me about that, I took a step back and I said, I'm not applying anything that I have been doing and learning to my followers and to those people who want to join. They knew nothing about any of this. And so I was doing all of this back work, but I was bringing nothing to the table. So that was kind of like a wake-up call with being like just consistent about everything I do because I was so inconsistent. And I started kind of asking myself like what I looked for in Kirsten when I first joined. I was like, okay, like she formed a relationship with me. She always would comment and like my stuff. And she really made me feel like I was like wanted on the team. And I kind of was like, okay, so how do I do this? So every day I went, I invited, and I liked, and I commented, and I did everything you're supposed to do every single day for an entire month. I did not take a break, and I was on fire with my business. Fire. I hit one of my highest paychecks that month. I was like in the best shape of my life because I was like just amped up on life. Like I felt amazing. So that, first of all, just shows how insane being consistent is and so vital to your business, because the second I went, nope, I'm done, I'm doing this, everything turned around, everything. And that's when I said, okay, let's take a step back and reevaluate all of this. So when I start to get my coaches, I can teach them what I've learned from this mistake that I did. So I kind of put together my thoughts, and the biggest thing I can tell you guys, like, to take away from this is the second you feel discouraged about anything in your business, you need to work 1,000 times harder to get to where you want to get. And I know that's so hard because you sit here and you're like, wow, like my paycheck was crap this week. Whoa, turn it around. Your paycheck wasn't the worst. Oh, my internet might have just shut down. Can you see me? You guys can see me? Okay. It just said my internet went out. But so I just kind of turned my entire thought process around and my mindset, and I went full blast. And I think that's the biggest thing, because it's so hard for us to know that we are failing in our career, but we're not. We're still impacting all of those lives every single day on social media. And every single time they see our face on that phone, like, you want it to be like, oh my God, Annie posted. Let me go look. Like, what'd she say? And you want them to be so fired up about what you're posting because you're so consistent and you're so just headstrong with your business. So I was posting and inviting, and things turned around really quick. I could. And that was the point where I said, okay, like, I was graduated with college, and I was just beginning a job. So another change. Ian and I just moved to a new city, and things started getting rough again. And I was still being consistent on my social media, but I was not being consistent with invites. And I was just so busy. So I tried my best. I was like, oh, if I'm just active on social media, it's not a big deal. Like, it's okay if I don't invite. People still see me. But I was wrong, because people saw me, but I wasn't getting any feedback from them. I wasn't getting any engagement at all, because I wasn't out there liking and commenting on pictures and following new people and inviting to my challenge groups. So I had no engagement at all. So in a blink of an eye, I completely switched around again, and I went right back at it, because I knew that is what was holding me back from reaching my goals as a coach. So I kind of just set my goals again as soon as I could get adjusted. And that's when I went full-time as a Beachbody coach. And now every day I make sure the first thing in the morning I am on my phone posting on social media. I send at least 10 invites before noon, really good invites, because I don't want some little copy and paste thing. Even though we all have that message in our phone, I want to make sure I'm customizing it to kind of that really had, or if I've seen their page before, like, oh my God, your daughter's so cute, like blah, 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 your dog, customizing that invite to really make sure that we're forming that relationship, and just like really applying that personal development to my job every single day. So I kind of have just 3 little things to help you with being consistent in just everyday life as a Beachbody coach, because sometimes it is hard and we do get discouraged a lot of times when we don't feel like our business is going the best it can. So the first one is remind yourself that you are like what you are. Okay, I I don't really know how to word this, but remind yourself. I was watching Kirsten. I followed her for months and months and months before I joined her team. And that was because I wanted to make sure I trusted her. I wanted to make sure that she was the right fit for me. And I felt like I knew her. So that's why I joined her team. And we've never met in person, but I still felt like we had that relationship to join. And that's what you need to be doing to your followers every single day so that they want you as their coach. The second one is work on applying your personal development into your business and plan it out. So a lot of times we listen to my biggest struggle when I first started. I was kind of gaining all this knowledge about everything, but I wasn't sharing it. And I wasn't making sure that I applied that when I was sending my invites. Like, these are real people on the other side of that invite. You can't just send it and be done. You have to really build that relationship. It's so important. And the third one is take so many pictures of yourself whenever you're dressed up or going out, because that is one thing I just started doing within the last couple months, and it's changed my life. Because whenever I'm laying in bed, I'm like looking like a hobo. And I'm like, oh my God, look at that cute selfie. Like, I can post this and people will think I look like that right now. And boom, consistent, because you're on social media and you're the first thing they see. And we always have those go-to quotes or those go-to like to be mindset recipes and things like that. But we want to make sure that they see our face. And even when we do look our worst, like, that's what they kind of like to see. And we all know that. When you got a piece of pizza in your hand, post that shit, because you know that everyone out there is like, oh my God, she eats pizza? Like, what? I did not know that. And they're like, oh, maybe I'll join. And it's that relationship and that bond that gets you those challengers and coaches just like this. So I will hand it over to Cass, but I hope that you had some good takeaways. And yeah.
Boom. All right. Can you guys hear me okay? All right. That was awesome, Annie. And I kind of wish that I would have went first, because literally every note that I wrote down, I'm pretty sure you just talked about. So I'm just going to kind of add to a little bit. So anyway, yeah, my name is Cassandra. I've been a coach for just over 3.5 years. And I'll tell you right now that I know what it's like to be inconsistent in this business. I know how it feels. I know how it shows on your business. And I also know how it shows to be consistent in your business. And I will tell you, it pays to be consistent. Consistency is so key in this business. And this company has made it so easy for us because they've already provided us with the 4 things that we need to be consistent at every single day in order to be successful. So there's no guessing. You literally have to do the 4 vital behaviors every single day, no matter what. And over time, you will be successful. Also, if I like squirrel, it's because I have pregnancy brain. So anyway, I wrote some notes. And I think with consistency, something that needs to go hand in hand is your why. Your why has to be so big and so strong, and it has to drive you. Because if you have a why that's just, I want to help people get fit, which, by the way, if that's your why, you need to think deeper, because if this is your job, something that you want to do long term, we're all in this to help people. But it needs to be bigger, big enough to light a fire underneath your butt to do those, seriously, those vital behaviors every single day and to be consistent. So for me, like I said, I've been a coach for just over 3.5 years. And probably those first 2 years, I was kind of in and out of it. Like, there were days that I would do the invites. There was days where I'd do the posting. And then there was days where things would come up and I'd have bad days and something would happen in the family or something would happen at work. And I'd say, oh, I'll just post tomorrow. But one thing you need to remember in this business is that every time you're not taking a step forward, you're moving backwards. Your business doesn't just stay in one spot. You always need to keep pushing forward every single day, doing those vital behaviors. And I wasn't doing them, like I said, in my first 2 years consistently every single day. But I also think it stems down to the fact that my why wasn't big enough. And it was probably back in March, actually, when I found out that I was pregnant, that everything changed. My why changed. And even though I knew from the very start of joining this business that eventually I wanted to stay home, it wasn't big enough for me to be consistent with the vital behaviors. I didn't know exactly why did I want to stay home? What would that mean for me? What would it mean for, you know, my future family and everything? But once I got pregnant, it was like, okay, like I'm going to have a kid now. I'm going to have a husband. And like, there was just so much more meaning to me wanting to be home with my child to watch them grow up every single day. And that why has literally lit a freaking fire under my ass since March. And I've been so consistent, and it pays off. And something that I want to show you guys or tell you guys, and it's ironic because I was reading my personal development this morning, and I'm currently reading the book called The Slight Edge. If you guys haven't read it, you need to read it. And one of the things that the book was talking about was consistency. And it said, you know, there's a very small percentage of people that will be successful. And to do with consistency, it said, it's just as easy as it is to do something, it's just as easy not to do it. And that like hits home for me, because how many times in a week have you said, oh, I didn't get my invites done, but I'll do it tomorrow. Or I was supposed to follow up with this person, but I've got supper, I'll do it tomorrow. That can't happen in this business. If you are looking for full long-term commitment with this business and success, those vitals, they need to happen every single day. The time is going to pass no matter what, and you need to make sure that you get them done. And yes, things come up, family tragedies. Oh my gosh, I can't talk. Things come up in your life, which is understandable, where you have days where you really just can't get it done. But if that's the case, then you need to have a plan. For example, I'm currently 35 weeks pregnant. So when I go into labor and give birth in about a month, I'm probably not going to be able to do my invites on the day or the hours that it takes me to give birth. But you better believe that I have a plan in place to make sure that I've either doubled up on my invites ahead of time, or I have someone helping me, or I've made sure to make a plan afterwards that I'm going to double up, right? It's all going to get done no matter what. So if you know that you can't do something in that exact day for your 4 vital behaviors, have a plan. Don't just go with the flow. This is your business. You need to treat it like a business. It's not your hobby, unless you're just in here for a hobby, but I hope you guys are all in here long-term, because this business can be epically amazing if you want it to be. And yeah, just have a plan, stick with it, and treat it like a freaking 6-figure income that it can be. And then I just want to add to Annie, when you were talking about social media, and I actually did a team call for my team recently about just the power of showing up on social media. And I know it's not easy every single day to find something to post about, or we all get caught up in the newsfeed scrolling or the comparison game. But you need to make sure that you at least put one good quality post on social media a day, because exactly what Annie said is that gains trust. Oh, I think my battery's gonna die. Okay, you guys are still there. That gains trust, and you can't just sell a challenge pack or sign up a coach to just Joe Blow on the street without having a real connection. You need to gain trust with that person. And being consistent on social media equals trust, and trust equals a relationship for you guys. Okay, I think I don't want to repeat what you said. Okay, yeah, so I think that's kind of what I have basically on top of what Annie said. But just know that these behaviors, these vital behaviors, they're simple. And sometimes it's the simplest things that get overlooked and get taken advantage of. And we think that they don't mean anything, and we try focusing on the big things, the big graphics and the pretty lights and everything, when it's really those simple, small, overlooked, vital behaviors that is what's going to make it big in this business. So yes, it might not seem like a big deal to invite 3 to 5 people a day, or it might not seem like a big deal to send those happy birthdays to people on Facebook, but it's those small behaviors that the other 95% of people in this business are not doing is what's going to make you stand out.
I was just going to add into that quick. I wished this girl that I've been like wanting to join my team a happy birthday text on Monday, and she joined Monday night because she was putting it off and she wouldn't respond to me. And then I followed up one more time and I was like, okay, this is my last follow-up. Like, this girl's done. And I sent her a happy birthday and I was like, hey, happy birthday. Enjoy the best day ever. Like, this sweet note. She responded, I've been meaning to get back to you. I'm so glad you texted me, blah, blah, blah. Let me sign the link, like whatever. And I was like, what? Like, it's the littlest.
Yeah. And I think also, the fact that people don't see results right away in this business. Like, this isn't a business where you get rich overnight. And it's sad that people aren't patient enough or aren't consistent enough in the business to see that. But it does take time. And just knowing that if you're consistent every single day and doing those small behaviors every single day that are critical, there's no way to fail in this business, you guys, unless you give up. Unless you stop being consistent every day. If you guys have not hit, or let me rephrase that, if you haven't hit Success Club in a month, for myself anyway, any month that I have not hit SC, I can honestly tell you it's because I wasn't 100% consistent with my business. It wasn't because there wasn't enough people out there. It wasn't because people didn't have the money or it wasn't the right time. It was me. I wasn't consistent enough. And just knowing that, and knowing that if I would have been consistent, the potential is like mind-blowing of what can happen with consistency. So just know that consistency it's absolutely key in this business.
It's incredible how people think that there's a secret sauce or the secret, that I must work 30 hours every day, right, to build the business. But like you guys said, it's the compound effect. It's little behaviors done repeatedly over and over and over. And if a $0 paycheck or a $40 paycheck was something that made me want to quit, I would have quit in the first year or two. I would have been gone. But I knew that the people around me were succeeding because of the effort that they put in, not because they had something special that I didn't have. They were working harder than me. And that was a tough pill to swallow when I was like, oh shit, like people are rank advancing. People were, saying they were making like $5,000 a week. And I'm like, still at like 500. And I'm like, well, I worked hard to get here, but like nothing's happening. Or I'm at $50 a week or whatever it was. Like I remember my first $50 paycheck. I literally was like doing jumping jacks. I was so excited. So, but that took time. That took more time than I anticipated, because I thought that I just by showing up, and at the time it was just Facebook, just by showing up on Facebook, that people would like just buy stuff from me all the time, and just my warm market, because I was too nervous to add people, right? So it's just this crazy delusional thing we have, that we sign up, we expect to be successful. And I think it's a generational thing, that with that instant gratification, that we want it to be successful without really having to work very hard at it. And now we're realizing, 4.5 years in this business, I'm very grateful that I had the patience that I did when I started, because my paychecks weren't big and it took a long time for them to get equal to what I made as a dental hygienist. And it took even longer to surpass that. So just know that this game of, do I need to, use this app that this coach is using? And do I need to, get a special ring light? And do I need to get a professional photo shoot done? I promise you that if you share your story and you talk to people and you build relationships, you'll grow a business. You'll grow a business, because you want to know how many like photos there are of like boss babes out there that are just like gorgeous, like so well staged and edited and, oh, it's just beautiful, but they don't have a business. That's a popularity contest that they won. They might get free clothes sent to them and free stuff sent to them every now and then to share, but they're not growing a business. The people that succeed in social media are the people that tell a story and then have a story that people come back to. And don't ever for a minute think because you don't have a size 2 bum and you don't have, the blondest hair or whatever, that you can't make it in this industry, because that's so incorrect. Because there's someone out there who relates to you, not to me, not to Annie, not to Cassie. They relate to you and they're waiting for you to share their story. So don't do the world a disservice by not sharing that. Because I think about now, and like, I always get so teary-eyed. I'm not going to tonight because I'm strong, not weak. When you think about 4.5 years and all the Success Club points, all those Success Club points, when you think about all the lives that you've impacted, whether or not, they stuck with it or not, but there was a point in their life that I had an opportunity to change a life, to put them on a different path, to change their mood, to affect their day in some way. That's powerful. That is so powerful. So don't think for a minute that because you just got Success Club 5 that you're not where you want to be. Sure, you have room for growth, but you've made an impact in your own life, in the life of your customers, of your challengers. If you're sharing like tips and tricks and recipes and insight and, advice on your Instagram story, you're helping someone. So what a powerful thing that we have to run a business, build a business, and to also make an impact. I think that's pretty cool. Does anyone have questions for Cassie or Annie? Do you know what you're having, Cass?
A girl, supposed to be.
Aww.
Yeah, little babe.
Not that, like, if you would have said a boy, I would have been like, oh. Like, I would have said that. But I think every girl, like, secretly deep down is like, oh, a girl, yay. Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Home stretch.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, guys, if you don't have any questions, we can wrap up. You can always message them individually if you want to chat with them privately. But I encourage you today, if you're on this call, which you're on a call for a reason, you want to grow a business. You don't show up to team calls because you have nothing else to do, because you could go watch Netflix if that was the case. So just know that if you're here, we see you and you're putting in an effort. This is a really good first step. And just remember that you're supported, you're loved, and that you're creative beyond measure. And don't sell yourself short, because today's a new day and tomorrow is a new day as far as like the Beachbody week goes. It's a reset. We all, get paid tomorrow. And it's the start of the new Beachbody week, and tackle it head on. You guys, we're like halfway through October. We have a lot of time left to hit your business goals, to help some people. And I promise you that with the time you have left, you could easily lock in Success Club 10. Easily, if you put yourself out there, if you connect with people, if you engage with people. Don't think that your sweaty selfies alone are going to do it. I promise you they won't. You got to talk to people. You got to get out there and make connections and just do the small behaviors. They might be uncomfortable, like they were saying. It's not always the most fun, but it's the most impactful. You got to do it. So I look forward to seeing you guys next week. We are going to do a live power hour again. And then the week after, we will have another couple guest speaker coaches before Halloween. We won't do it on Halloween night, obviously, but we'll probably do it on the Tuesday. So we will chat with you guys soon. Thank you so much for spending your evening with us. And I will post the link in both the downline pages tonight. Bye, guys.
Thanks, guys. Bye.